Nightline is a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
We're going to the White House, and you're invited.
That's right. We'll be live from the White House with Barbara Bush. Join us for a special tour with the First Lady.
Don't miss home at the White House.
Work on Tim's car gets stalled when Jill plays matchmaker.
I'm not going to interfere. We're just going to stay long enough for them to meet, exchange a few words, pick a pattern.
Home Improvement, Wednesday.
You're watching Channel 5.
Hey, man.
Hi, Whoopi.
Glad to see you.
Certainly more relaxed without an audience.
Absolutely.
Cool piano. I didn't even know we were on. All of a sudden,
There it is. There it is. We're sitting here with Dennis Miller. You know, and this is kind of bizarre because, you know, I'm not sure whether I'm supposed to ask a question, you're going to ask the questions. It's, you know, it's bizarre. And I'm going to start, so you jump in wherever you want. You have a very interesting reputation. Some people call you a hip, cool guy. Some people think you're smug, arrogant. I think you're like a macaroon, okay? Kind of hard on the outside, but really squishy, soft, and sweet on the inside.
Yeah.
Which one is true? Are you a macaroon?
Well, you know, I've always been amazed that part of show business is, I've always judged people on competency, and there seems to be a part of show business where you can get by being nice all the time. And you know, I do feel like underneath I'm nice, and I don't feel the need to kill people with that all the time. That gets a little boring to me. I'm a comedian. I try to make people laugh. Part of the business that I'm in makes me sheepish. I find all the instantaneous love that's achieved in this business to be somewhat bullshit, and it makes me a little uneasy. Yeah. So I'm just a regular person. I meet people in show business, and if they eventually prove themselves out to be nice people, you know, I love to befriend people, but if it's all that slick, hey, I love you, and I get bored with that. I can't suffer that anymore. I can't fake that. So I'd rather just be a little distant until I find out what's happening. And some people discern that as smug. I might be smug to them. I don't know. All I know is that at the core, I try to be a decent human being, and that's what matters to me. So.
Well, let's close this distant gap, Dennis, when we come right back.
Whoopi, I love you.
The Whoopi Goldberg Show is brought to you by Want fresh, clean breath? Get Certs, the only mint with Retsin. And be certain.
You ever notice you can't really smell your own breath?
Hi, Tim. Problem, Tim?
You can smell other people's breath, but not your own, even though it's right under your nose. So use Certs for fresh, clean breath, or face the consequences.
Hey, guys. Want fresh, clean breath? Get the only mint with Retsin, and be certain with Certs.
From Hollywood Pictures.
Guess we have new neighbors, huh?
Richard Parker. Oh, hey, Eddie Otis.
Sorry I'm late. I'm Catherine, but everybody calls me Kay.
I would like to propose a toast to neighbors and friends.
How long you been married?
14 years.
Have you been faithful all those years?
You want to make love to my wife, but you're afraid you'll get caught.
You are insane, Eddie.
This is how you die. These little things you deny yourself.
a murder weapon has your prints on it.
You have to help me understand this, Richard. Please, help me.
I didn't kill her. I'm telling you, it's a lie. Who is Eddie? Come on, Richard. Where'd he come from? Comes from Papa.
Consenting adults.
What a setup.
Rated R. Starts Friday, October 16th at a theater near you.
I hear you across a field 2,000 miles wide, past your old backyard where we told all our secrets. I hear you through the noise of a marriage and kids, wondering how come you never became an actress, and whether it'll rain this weekend. And I hear you smile so big when I tell you you're still my best friend.
We'll always be there to keep you this close.
Hey, this is like Vegas. There are no monitors. You can't see yourself. Right?
No.
No clocks in Vegas. No monitors.
No, that's
here.
right.
So you can't be self-conscious.
That's
you look
right.
At yourself.
Don't want you to be. Well, you wouldn't be self-conscious anyway.
You know what? One thing I learned from the 6 months of doing the talk show was that guests should just talk. Don't be reticent. I used to sit there certain nights and I felt like I was doing good cop, bad cop with these people. Some people were so reticent to share.
Yeah, what did you do in those situations? We haven't come across it quite yet. But like when you get there and there is a stiff sitting next to you, what do you do?
Well, the thing that I've learned is that at some point these talk shows, this less so because it's the half-hour one-on-one thing, but a nightly talk show with guests is commerce. It is the marketplace.
Yeah.
People trundle through. They've got things that they have to sell, and they move on. And it was pretty cut and dry.
Yeah.
And some of them were there because they had to be there, because the studio wanted them there, but they didn't want to be there.
Right.
I just stopped getting angry at them. I could just see that, just trying to make the best of it. And
what happened?
the only thing that happened to my show is the system. It didn't get a high enough rating. I read now, to some extent, there's a backlash in the press saying that I am pointing fingers at The Tonight Show and blaming them for my demise. I don't. My show, there's a myriad of reasons that led to the downfall of my show. But that was one of them.
Yeah.
The talk show guest wars.
But
it wasn't the only reason, and I don't want to become the class whiner here. I'm not pointing fingers at them. I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah.
I play real hardball as far as guests go, and that makes it difficult to book people, especially for a fledgling show like mine.
Right.
But that was not the only reason that show's off the air, and I don't want to get that whiner reputation.
Right.
I don't think the company that did my show, the Chicago Tribune, to be quite honest, thought that I was very talented. So at some point you can't buck that.
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't like you, the people who are behind your show,
really, it makes it kind of tough to work.
Yeah. I had 6 months. I look at it as this. It's like there had to be a first troop carrier on the Normandy beach, and it used to be tough to get on the beach when Carson had the one bunker established there.
Right.
Now there's two bunkers. You have Arsenio and The Tonight Show. And while it used to be very hard to get in against Johnny, imagine how hard it is now with two shows that are already firmly established.
Right.
I think that it demands a lot of patience, a lot of care, tender, loving care, and my company was in the more of a math equation approach to the show. At the 6 month point, they looked at it, they didn't like what the equation read, and they pulled the show. I just, wish, obviously, as the person who was in the midst of that they had been a little more patient, but they weren't. The Tonight Show wars are, they're a big thing now. They're being hyped ad nauseum.
Yes.
But the simple fact is it does exist. There is pressure from these other shows not to do a show.
Yeah.
And I'm not manufacturing it. It just is. They're going to deny it. I can lay the whole scenario out for you. They're going to say it never happened.
There's too much paperwork on it.
Yeah, I always prescribe to the theory where there's smoke, there's fire. I mean, there's too much of it. People know it goes on.
Are you pissed at them? For putting you in the can't even say the word.
Pissed at the other shows or pissed at the people behind my show?
No, the people at the Tonight Show for involving you. And to some degree, Arsenio, who was a little
Well, the people
fairer.
I dealt with were two, the Tonight Show and the Arsenio show. And Arsenio, you know, I'm not naive. I'm not a child. These people want to win. And I know Arsenio wanted to kick my ass. I just know it did. That's the business.
Yeah.
All I can tell you is he was never anything but a gentleman about it.
Yeah.
And that's all you ask. I mean, this is, like I said, the business place. People want their shows to work. I'm not naive. This isn't Walton Mountain at Christmas time. There are some seriously motivated people, competitive people who want to win. That's Arsenio Hall. But he did everything, I feel, above board and classy. Now, the Tonight Show, I had nothing but trouble with. That's just me. It might not exist for other people. It might be a love fest. But I hear other people complaining too. My experience with them was that it was cold, detached. They were more faceless about it, and they leaned more on people. And once again, that is not the reason I'm off the air. I have to preface with that. I don't want to look like I'm blaming them.
I know.
But it just was a fact.
Yeah.
That's how they were.
Saturday Night Live, do you miss it?
You know, there's certain people there, and although to some extent Saturday Night Live is the gladiator school of contemporary show business. Yeah. You talk about throwing 18 to 20 competitive people into an arena together.
Right.
It's very competitive, but I must say it's that you know, they sometimes say immediate intimacy is bred of hard and fast times.
Right.
People in the bunker together form that really quick bond, and Saturday Night Live, due to its live nature, is the bunker. It's a frightening place, and I grew to love a lot of those people there. I miss them from that respect.
Yeah. We'll be right back with Dennis Miller.
That's the coolest cue.
Yes, because I will miss, because I get into talking about they flash the flash.
It's the incredible shrinking bedroom.
Honey?
It's what happens when you run out of storage space.
Honey?
And the walls start closing in. So what's the answer? A 12-drawer underdresser from Big Sur Waterbeds. Right now, just $3.99 buys any of these waterbeds with 12 drawers of underbed storage, the equivalent of 2 upright dressers under your bed. Or buy the 12 drawers with any bed for $1.99 and save yourself from the horror of the incredible shrinking bedroom. Big Sur Waterbeds.
This year, more than 40,000 Americans are expected to become infected with HIV. Fortunately, many people have found a way to respond.
I got a friend that's got AIDS.
What? They're shooting us? You think that's the only way people get AIDS?
Educating themselves,
Someone is infected with HIV without a blood test.
their employees,
On this AIDS thing.
The issue here is education.
their congregations and friends,
Enlightening sermon. I'm glad you did.
We need to talk to our donors.
their community,
says that AIDS is growing faster in small towns.
especially their families.
You and Nelson, you think you're invincible. No one is.
Education does make a difference.
My name is Eileen, and last year I found out that I have HIV.
If we're going to prevent the spread of HIV, each and every one of us must do our part. Find out how you can help prevent HIV.
This month, Channel 5, Hardee's Restaurants, and Caldwell Banker Mid-America Group Realty are teaming up to provide coats for needy folks in our state. As you care for your children's needs this fall, think about Iowa's less fortunate families and what a warm coat could mean to them. If you'd like to help, all you need to do is drop off your donation at any of these locations. The coats you donate will be cleaned and distributed to Iowa families free of charge. Channel 5's Keep a Kid Warm program is designed to help these families through the winter months. We hope you'll want to help too.
There's a special beauty about these children, learning, using their imagination, and developing into healthy young people. All these exciting children were born with Down syndrome, the leading clinical cause of mental retardation. We know now that with encouragement and the right education, people with Down syndrome can lead active and productive lives. The National Down Syndrome Congress urges your support. Please contact this Down syndrome organization for more information.
To laugh, to cry, to kiss your troubles goodbye. There's no place like Cheers.
Weeknights at 10:30, only on Channel 5.
Yeah. Tell it you know.
Oh, Oh, man, you should not get that soulful in mid-afternoon. Your skull can blow off getting that soulful.
Oh, honey, some days you get us in here and we're wailing and wailing
That
and
is
weeping.
after
And
sundown music.
people throw money, you know. It's frightening. Now, listen, let's play, if you wouldn't mind, before we say goodnight to these nice people. Let's play a little word association.
Shoot.
Bush.
Beer. No.
Shaving. No.
Well, I can't put it in one word. I think Bush is a heartful man in a heartless job. I really think at the, this will sound weird. I'm not dropping this like I know the president. I was at a dinner one night, though, where he told me a story about his son's baseball team and how an illegal alien who had become a naturalized United States citizen threw out the first ball at his son's game. And as he was telling me the story, I'm not trumping this up. I'm pretty cynical about stuff like this. He was tearing up. I could see this meant a lot to him, this America thing. I think that he has completely lost sight of what we have to do for our people. I really do. But I don't think it's a matter of heart. I think it's a matter of his intellectual approach to how to save the people is just not working. It's crap. But I don't view him as a heartless man at all. I really think he just does not see it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that is. I think we're so locked into this Republican-Democrat system now that this is why I like Perot. I like the idea of a third party in that one side now takes one side of the issue, the other side now takes the other side of the issue reflexively. I wanted a third guy in there so you at least these two wouldn't feel the need to always be arbitrary with each other.
They could kick Perot's butt in the middle.
Yeah, if it was a third party, that's why I kind of liked him. But Bush, I guess, I think, is I don't dislike the man, but I do dislike his doctrines right now.
What about Clinton?
Showbiz, a poll, business as usual to me. I'm going to vote for him because I think we need to change. And I hope to God he proves me wrong, but at this, you know what, it's like Groucho said, I never want to belong to a club that'll have me as a member. I always question somebody who wants to be the president. And you know what I mean? And Clinton is somebody I look at, and like I said, I hope he proves me wrong. Maybe I'm the shallow one who can't believe anymore, but I look at him and I just see a pretender to the throne, and why does he want that throne, and what, it looks a little cosmetic to me, but like I said, I might have just been disappointed too many times. I might be jaded. Maybe he is the one.
Buchanan.
Well, that speech was rather embarrassing. I really, I see they crucify Cuomo now because Cuomo made a reference that it was almost Nazi-esque, the convention. That might have been a little strong. But I know when I sat there and heard Buchanan speaking in exclusionary terms like that about homosexuals, hey, what business is it of any of us who somebody wants to bonk? I mean, I am incensed that our country has degenerated to the point where anybody's sex life is anybody's business, especially Pat Buchanan.
Now, where did you grow up? You grew up in
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yeah, and I first got into, I got out of college. I had a Bachelor of Arts in journalism, and I went to New York to try comedy in 1978. And, wow. Camera just moved into the vine over there. We're getting that.
Well, we like that naturalistic feel. You know, the sounds of the jungle creeping up on us.
Dr. Livingston, I presume.
I presume.
I moved to New York in '78 to try comedy. It was probably the best thing I ever did because New York just kicks your ass. I mean, it is unrelenting, tough town.
You know.
And it taught me something about showbiz. Show business is, in alternating moments, not as bleak as you'd think it'd be. There's sort of I find a soul to show business on some odd level. But in other moments, it is the coldest place. It is a business that adheres strictly to the Peter Principle, and you better live up to your level of competency, or it just spits you out. And that's somewhat what New York was like. So it taught me good lessons. New York was a place of great prosperity, and there was great fortune to be found there if you busted your ass and did what you had to. And if you didn't, if you whined about it and just said, why don't I get... It just didn't care. You were...
Well, because there's 40 million other people to take
aspiring.
What was your family's reaction to you becoming a
my mom was... my father deceased, but my mom was always supportive of, my stand-up. She didn't really she was just glad I found something, as I'll be with my kid.
Yeah.
Something that put a spark in her eye.
Right.
You know what I mean? I always thought if my kid came home and told me he had a job and he looked dispirited about that, that wouldn't please me necessarily.
Yeah.
But if he came home and he had a passion that he might not be making a cent at, I think I'd be overjoyed, because I think two things can happen if you follow that route, pursuing your passion. One, your passion can lead you to fame and fortune.
Right.
Two, it can lead you nowhere, but you have pursued your passion. Whereas in the opposing thing, it seems like two dead ends to me. You can get all the money in the world, and if you're not happy with the job you're performing, you're at a dead end.
Right.
And if you're not happy, you probably don't make money at it. You know what I mean? It's just, so when I told my mom I stumbled onto something that pleased me, she was just happy for that regard. The way I found comedy was almost Pavlovian inducement. I remember in 10th grade, I sat in a study hall next to the big football player in our high school. And I was like 85 pounds, just completely insignificant. I was like a gnat in the socio system of this school. And I wasn't particularly adept with women. I wasn't particularly bright. I wasn't particularly good at athletics. And I was a small kid. I sat in this study hall one day, and we had this teacher who we didn't like, not a proctor, whatever she was called, an overseer. And I met...
It sounded like a plantation.
Commandant.
Get in there and do that.
It was James Mason from Mandingo, actually, is who it was. And I said something cutting about her, and this big football star laughed. And it was the first time in my existence I had gotten the corn kernel as opposed to the electric shock. I just remember it was an important moment for me. It was intoxicating. I looked over and I said, "Did I just make him laugh? Oh, I see. This is my way to get in."
Right.
And from then on, I just kind of I used it in my life. And then I got out of college, and I worked a series of bad jobs, and I didn't know. I was kind of lost.
Right.
And then one night I saw a thing on a club in Pittsburgh. It said comedy tonight. I thought, my God, somebody's actually doing comedy for a living. That's so weird to me. No, it wasn't like it is now.
Right.
I went in and watched him, and thank God he was just horrendous. It was so bad that I actually, a pretty shy kid, had the presumption that I could do it. If he would have been great, I might have sat there and said, "Oh, wow, boy, that's out of my league." But he was
reading your byline, like the
so
newspaper.
bad that I thought, hey, I could do that bad. Let me up there.
I hear by the magic fingers of my piano man that it's time to bat it to commercial. We'll be right back.
When what you eat and drink upsets your stomach, you want a medicine that works directly on your stomach. Pepto-Bismol. As it coats, Pepto delivers powerful medicine right where you hurt. Pepto-Bismol. When what you eat and drink gives your stomach a surprise, you want a medicine that works directly on your stomach. Pepto-Bismol. As it coats, Pepto delivers powerful medicine right where you hurt. Pepto-Bismol.
Introducing Capio Iced Cappuccino. The rich, smooth taste of cappuccino, only cooler. Capio, it's refreshment Italian style. Capio, so refreshing, so delicious. So try it. New Capio from Maxwell House. The thrill is the chill.
I ain't saying he's bright, but he's a damn good worker.
What's your stake in this guy?
We travel together.
They looked at one man and saw a misfit. They looked at the other and wondered why he cared.
Guys like us are the loneliest guys in the world.
But not us,
Because I got you.
and I got you.
John Malkovich, Gary Sinise, John Steinbeck's Of Mice and Men, rated PG-13. Now playing in select cities, opens nationwide October 16th.
It's Mako's 20th anniversary. After 20 years, 7 million cars, and 5 presidents, what's next? A party. Come on in and celebrate Mako's 20th anniversary. The Big 2-0 with big savings during our 2020 anniversary sale. Right now, we're taking 20% off all Mako paint services and 20% off cosmetic body labor. The savings are everywhere. Call or come on in and save twice during Mako's 2020 anniversary sale. If that showroom shine is your bottom line, get Mako.
Today, small businesses employ over half of America's workforce.
The Small Business Administration helps people get into business, stay in business, and compete in world markets.
SBA gave us training.
We got counseling. We got a loan.
SBA provides valuable advice and help with financing. SBA can help you too. Call 1-800-8-ASK-SBA.
Welcomes Vanessa Williams on the next Whoopi Goldberg Show.
For Perms Only Hair Care, professionally formulated to maintain and style permed, colored, and chemically treated hair. Try For Perms Only.
Hey, why'd you stop? My lips feel dry and cracked. I need Blistex.
Blistex ointment is the only leading brand with moisture. Medicated Blistex with the advanced moisture system.
Jonel's French Manicure. Quick and easy. White it and pink it for smoother, whiter tips and healthier looking nails. Treat yourself to a French manicure from Jonel.
It'll make you want to throw your clothes off and
Yeah,
smoke
I need
cigarette.
a tetanus shot after that.
Telling you, honey. Telling you. You're just too much over there. He gets nuts over
Yeah.
Now listen, you're a dad?
Yeah, I got a little boy now. My wife and I decided it was time, you know, because we want to do pre-board airplanes. No, I don't want to say my wife's biological clock was ticking, but Harold Lloyd was hanging off the minute hand. But you know, folks, I got a little boy holding. He's 2 years and 2 months, and it is the joy of my life. And I've got time to spend with him. I used to parrot the phrase that I was spending a lot of time with him when I had the show, but the show's pretty taxing, and I'd go home sometimes and pass out and miss him. But now I go during the day, we go play miniature golf, and I'm firmly convinced, and I know this to be true, and I know we don't live our lives like this, but me being with that boy for anything is so infinitely more important than me doing 50 years of good television shows, that I want to teach myself that lesson. If there's anything to be learned from the adversity of having a show canceled on you, it is that it is not the core of life. And I tell you, sometimes in this business, we yak about that, but you don't even really believe it deep down in your sanctum sanctorum. At some point, it becomes very important to you that it succeed. And I'm telling you, I'm going to work hard as a human being to learn the lesson that my boy and my wife and the time I spend with them should dwarf, absolutely dwarf, all this crap that you get caught in this thing and you don't even see it. But I'm telling you, I'm learning it now because he unconditionally makes me laugh. You know what I mean? It's just I get that smile on my face and I say, this is the right thing. When I walked around that show often during the day, I didn't have a smile on my face. It was just like, got to make this work, got to make it. And now I just look at him and he looks at me and he said, Daddy, you've been fired. You just laugh your ass off.
Out of the mouth of babes.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming
Thanks,
and
Whoop.
talking.
I won't get up because this mic is set
Well,
in
I'll lean
stone
in.
here.
I'll lean in.
All right, there you go.
Ha. Good night. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Depression is a serious illness that can cause persistent sad moods, loss of interest in ordinary things, constant fatigue, and feelings of hopelessness. Sometimes a person suffering from depression needs support from friends and loved ones to get help from caring professionals. Once depression is diagnosed, treatment is fast and effective. Learn more about depression. Call today for a free brochure. 1-800-421-4211.
Keegan,
cheeseburger in a paradise. Heaven in a swamp with an onion slice. Hey, what happened to this gorgeous wetland? This is despicable.
America's wetlands are being lost. They're as vital as the rainforest, and their loss affects humans and wildlife alike. Daphne's waterfowl friends are vanishing.
Nobody's vanishing just yet, Buster. Report foul play. Save America's wetlands. Write Daphne, Washington, D.C. 20240.